Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Dutchman Kodiak 27 SBH travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, of course, your slide, leave room for that to come in and out unimpeded, preferably nothing hanging over top of it. But then I also want you to think about where your water and power connections are going to be. Your power is going to be plugged in here at the rear, on your off campsite, or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and your city water at the campsites will be right next to that. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook a hitch, first thing we're going to do is level your unit. The unit does come with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Once we got our unit level, we're going to go ahead and stabilize it. The unit has these power stabilizing jacks. This side there's a manual override. Coming over to our campsite, this could be where we run it down at. We're just going to hit extend. As we do, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Good investment. Grab a 4-pack of them, put them underneath these feet. You may have to straighten your feet out. Now remember, we've already got our unit level, so all we want to do is stabilize it. So we only want to bring these down just until they're taut. Once your second one touches and it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, go ahead and stop. Remember, we're level, we just want to make it stable. Alright, once we got them down, show you these ones working real quick. We run these down the back. Once we got our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Big long 30-amp cord plugs in here on the side. Where these new ones are, they're a twist lock. So our gray washer. Put this into the left, turn it to the right, and then put your washer on. At the end of that 30-amp service, should you need to plug into a 110, in your convenience pack is a 30 to 15 amp producer. Got our power hooked up, let's hook up our water. At campsites, we will hook up the city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. If you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so use this. Hook that up, hook your hose up, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. It's on the rear of the unit here. Looking like that. All we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in. You may have left it out last time you were camping. Get that drain plug back in, and then you can go ahead and turn on that hose. After your hose has been on for a little while, go inside. You can deploy your slide because you're level and stable. I need you to get inside and open up your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through those. Then you can shut them off and turn your hot water heater on from indoors. Now let's say we're going camping and we're not going to use city water, we're going to go boondocking or dry camping. In that case, we're just going to fill up our fresh water or potable water tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply use a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your battery and black and gray tanks. There's also a fresh water button. Don't leave this unattended while you're filling it. Once it is full, put your cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize this water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp with power and water. We're all set up. Let me walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit, starting on your campsite here with your outdoor fridge. Coming down the side here, again, your fresh water. Below that will be your freshwater drain right there. You also have a quick connect LP back here. You're all set up for a TV out here. You got cable 110 to plug into. There's a vent for your microwave. This is a flue for your furnace. Two things on this. One, make sure it's never blocked. And two, if you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Coming down the front of your campsite, you got your big pass-through storage. You actually got a level on the side of this. And again, your stabilizing jacks. We'll run them back up before we leave. Your propane does come with a cover. It's on a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty-loosey to open. You do have a manual override for your power tongue jack. If for some reason you lose power, get up underneath that rubber stopper right there and use that hand crank. That'll get it up and down. Battery posts, check them every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose coming down the road. Coming over this side, you got pass-through storage, another level, your big slide. Coming to the rear of your slide, again, your city water connection, your cable for the campsites, your power, and your black and gray tanks. Right up underneath your power is going to be your low point drains. On the rear, your spare tire, your prep for a backup camera, and your hot water heater. About covers everything out here. Let's go take a look inside. First thing I like to point out inside every unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone is camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Come up into your unit, all the way to the left to the top. Here's going to be your control panel. So here's where you can check those levels. There's your freshwater tank, your brand new battery, black and gray tanks. Over here's your porch light, which is your awning, your ceiling lights. Here's where you turn on your hot water heater hooked up to electric on top, gas down here. It does make a difference. Here's your water pump when you're using potable water, slide control, awning control. On your awning, keep an eye on it when you run it out. You only want to run it out until you can see that silver bar and you can see the brown flap. These will run themselves out past that and start to run themselves up backwards. Just keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Also, your door, make sure that it's about 90 degrees. If you have it back too far, it will hit your awning, opening and closing. Run that back in here real quick. Shut off my awning lights and continue our tour. Down here on the bottom to your left is going to be a control panel for your breaker box and fuses. Got a ton of 15s in there, 10, 20, 40, a little variety. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Continuing around into your kitchen area, a self-explanatory microwave. Down below that, light and fan. Cooktop that you will light with a hand lighter, turned up to high to light. Your Norcold fridge, turn that on up here. Hold it in for a couple seconds. So whatever's white is what you're controlling. For example, here is the freezer. We like to put the freezer at 5. We'll go to the fridge, put the fridge at 3. And then this is a night mode. That's just telling the fridge, hey, I'm not going to be using you as much. Please save me power. And it does so. Your heat register. You're all prepped for a TV here. You know that you have your hidden pantry back here. Fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. You'd have a remote for this up there too. So I can go through and show you all the pretty colors. But the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening and you're plugged in at a campsite, don't waste your gas. Go ahead and crank this baby up and it'll get it warm in here in no time. Of course, your bunk area with their own lighting. Smoke alarm in the hallway. Coming into the bathroom, do you want to mention this is where your 110 with GFCI resets at. You have an access panel down here in the bottom to check on your plumbing. There's your access panel for underneath your shower area. In the hallway, here's your thermostat. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Turn that down to cool. Crank your air up here. Turn your temperature down. There's your AC cranking. Now you'll notice when I shut your AC off, it'll shut off rather quickly. Now I'm going to turn your furnace on. And you'll notice that after I turn your furnace off, it takes a few minutes for the furnace fan to cycle through before they shut off. There's that. We'll shut that off. You'll still hear it for a few minutes. Down below that's going to be a 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned this is 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping, nothing plugged in charging your battery, and you're going to be gone for the whole day, use disconnect your battery post to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. So for the jackknife down to a bed, your table, fold your legs in, put them down onto these lips, put your cushions on top, that gives you another bed there. In your bedroom, main thing I want to mention, other than a hand crank exhaust here, is your bedroom door. Make sure that when you travel, you have this snap to the open position so it's not bouncing around and banging on you everywhere. You have some storage underneath the bed, as well as up top there. Prep for a TV here, a backer, 110 and cable here. And that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're going to leave the campsite and close the unit up. Now these are motion sensor or completely on all the time. You can set them to motion sensor. When someone walks in the bathroom, it'll turn on. However, if they hold still, it will shut off. So I grab a couple lights I know that are individuals, that are not controlled by this control panel. Come over here and shut off my ceiling lights. And then I can see all the individual lighting. It's one touch lighting. Until all my lights are off that are not controlled by the control panel, I'll turn them back on the control panel and say doors and drawers. Make sure all your doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. I'm just going to hit in. You got to make sure everything's secured down for travel. Repeat myself with doors and drawers. Make sure nothing's going to be in the way of the slide coming in. Just slides in, shut off our ceiling lights, and exit the unit. Make sure you lock and deadbolt your door before leaving the campsite. Alright, at this point, if we are out dry camping, we're going to come up underneath here and dump our fresh water tank. I'm just going to open up that white valve right there. For the campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, and our cable. Bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Now, at dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be all the way at the rear of the unit on the driver's side of your tow vehicle. Once you arrive, you got a 10-foot hose, comes your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull that black handle. Once that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside and look at your panel. Make sure it is empty. Once it is empty, close your black handle and pull that gray handle. While that gray handle is pulling, draining, we're going to go ahead and dump those low point drains at the dump station. After them are done, we're going to come back around here to our hot water heater. lift up on this pressure release valve. That'll release the hot water out of there. Make sure you push that handle back down, otherwise your door won't close. Then you can pull that drain plug there. Come back around here, make sure all that gray tank is emptied. Once it has, close that handle, remove your hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose right in your bumper. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase of this Kodiak. Hope you enjoy it for many years to come. Happy camping.